let's start with the first overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are dog shit, in case people didn't know. But who is your first overall
Essentially,
pick?
do we even need to talk about the top three? Come on,
no, I was gonna say the top two anyways. The top two we kind of know for sure, but the top three might be debatable for some. But anyways, top three, I think we kind of have an idea. Who's your top three?
Top three, you obviously got to go Lawrence. The man's been given the playbook already. Yeah. And then you got Zach Wilson. That fucking throw that he made. His BYU Pro Day, absolutely insane. And then 49ers, give me Mac Jones.
Okay. So I have that exact same mock draft, but afterwards, I don't know. I think my mock draft is for the most part pretty chalk. Like, I don't think there's really, outside of like 2 or 3 really big upsets, I don't really have like, I think any huge, oh my God, picks outside of like 2 or 3. I don't know about you, but that's how I got Trevor Lawrence, touchdown Jesus at Clemson. Yep. I got Zach Wilson at BYU, and then I got Mac Jones. Do you have a ranking of quarterbacks in this draft? Because I feel like that's going to be the big.
Yes, I do.
Because I want to hear.
So do.
What's your top 5?
Top 5? Okay.
Top 5 quarterbacks.
Top 5. Zach Wilson, number 1. I don't know. I honestly don't know why Trevor Lawrence is getting so much like love and appreciation, but I love Zach Wilson. He shows me that he's a competitor, and he shows me that he's a fighter. Trevor Lawrence is, you got to put him at number 2. He's good, but I don't think he's going to be as good as Zach Wilson. And then number 3, give me Trey Lance. Number 4, give me Mac Jones. And number 5, give me Justin Fields. But all of them, are so close.
But is that who you think's gonna get drafted, or how you would actually like?
How I would draft them. Yeah, okay. I would draft them in that order.
Okay. Because my quarterback rankings, I love Lawrence. I think he's a generational talent. I think he's the best quarterback prospect since Josh Allen.
Andrew Luck.
I was gonna say Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, like the best. Like, I think he's better than anybody in last year's class. I think he's better. I think he's better than Kyler or Dwayne Haskins in 2019, which was the debate then. I think he's better than Kyler Murray. I don't know if he's like at the same level as Josh Allen, but I still think the dude's a generational talent. He's legit. I think anybody would be stupid to pass on him.
See, and that's totally fair, and that's exactly the same reason is why I feel like the Jaguars are stupid to pass on Zach Wilson. Like, everyone's going to have a different opinion, obviously. And mine, I'm definitely in the more like narrow side where everyone up here is thinking about Lawrence. And like, I'm in like the lower ground thinking about Wilson just being so much better.
I was going to say, I don't know
what it is.
I think that's what Chris Sims has been saying, who was at NBC Sports. Chris Sims has been saying that quite a bit, is like Zach Wilson is the best quarterback prospect in this draft, without a doubt. And it's just like, I don't know. My one thing with
put Wilson at Clemson and give him everything that Lawrence had. I think Wilson, because obviously BYU's a smaller school, right? Yes. Not as high as Clemson. Clemson's always the top 4.
They're not BYU is not recruiting the same guys that Clemson is.
No,
recruiting.
Not even close.
Like that's why. Like, I get where you're coming from there. My issue with Wilson is that too many times I didn't see him set his feet properly, or he didn't have the right form that I was like. I watched like a couple of those, 12-minute highlight packages where they only just show like his touchdowns and whatever on YouTube. It's just like that dude is not setting his feet like I would like him to, or that I'm used to. But he still has enough power to get the ball into wherever he wants to go. He can still drive it into wherever he needs to throw it for a receiver. So I don't know. It's just, I'm not anti-Wilson. It's just I would rather have Lawrence number 1.
Yeah, exactly. See, and that's the thing. I'm not anti-Lawrence. I'd rather just have Wilson number 1, personally.
Fair enough. Yeah. We both have Mac Jones number 3. I don't think he's the 3rd best quarterback in this draft.
I don't either, but I think he's a great field general, which is exactly what Shanahan needs.
He's very much like the Kirk Cousins type that Shanahan is like looking for. It feels like he's accurate. He'll get the ball where it needs to be, but he's not going to be athletic. He's not going to scramble.
I don't think it's like Kirk Cousins at all, in my opinion. No, Kirk Cousins is not accurate. He's not that good of a passer. He's I don't know what Kirk Cousins is. It's hard to say.
Okay, but here's the thing. So the narrative with Kirk Cousins is that he's not a primetime player, right?
Yes.
That he can't win in prime time. And somebody, I can't remember who it is for the life of me, because the Seahawks beat them in prime time for like the third straight year in a row now.
Yep.
And somebody came out and said Kirk Cousins isn't actually awful in prime time. Like, he's not great, but he's okay in prime time. The Vikings just stink.
Exactly.
And it's just like, okay, that's kind of the same vibes I get with Mac Jones, where it's just like, he doesn't stink, he's not awful, but he's very much a one tool. He's very much not going to make plays on his feet. He's not going to extend the play longer if he has to. It's very much like 2-3 reads in the pocket, and if it's not there, he throws it away, which isn't awful, but...
Now tell me why that isn't a prototype of Jared Goff.
I was going to say because Goff can scramble and can extend plays, but against Seattle, he didn't do that at all in the playoffs. He didn't do that at all. Like, he was afraid to run. He was afraid to just tuck it and run. And that's what I think Mac Jones is too, to a certain extent. He's not going to tuck it and run. But no. I see where I think
Mac Jones has the potential just because of what San Francisco can do. Like Garoppolo, he made it to the Super Bowl, and all he did was hand off the ball.
But that's just it. I don't think the Niners are not a bad team. Like, the Niners are a really good team that can win right now. And I guess if you want to win right now, Jones is I think Fields is that pick out of like the if Lawrence and Wilson are already gone. I think if you're talking between Lance, Fields, Mac Jones, I think Fields is the guy to help win now, but I don't know. I wouldn't be trading up to number 3 to draft Mac Jones.
That's totally fair. But just what came out too, the 49ers are more looking today, as what they tweeted out, is Trey Lance or Mac Jones.
Yes.
Now, does that throw off the scent of Justin Fields? I have no idea. But that's why this is a mock draft, which is why I'm so excited to do this.
Okay, so I was gonna say also, no one has like outright said no on like Mac Jones yet. Like, there's been so much Mac Jones talk that's like, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly.
Like if people wouldn't be saying Mac Jones all the time if there wasn't some truth, real thing happening between the Niners and Mac Jones. But what do I know? I'm just some guy wearing a hat.
We're just someone doing this over a podcast. It's fine. It's cool.
It's cool. Whatever. What else are we going to do? So number 4, the Atlanta Falcons. The Dirty Birds.
The Dirty Birds. Do you want to take this one?
I'll start with you. You're the guest of honor here. You go number 4 with the Falcons.
So I was just on Left Side Heavy, just recorded an episode, and I had a really, really hot take of them taking someone else other than Kyle Pitts. But for this one, it just makes so much sense for Kyle Pitts to go there. I want to decline it so much, but Kyle Pitts, the Atlanta Falcons. Hayden Hurst, you were cool, but Matt Ryan needs another target, I guess. So, especially with news about Julio Jones might not even be there.
See, that's a really fascinating thing, because I think it was Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, said, like, we want to create a sustainable winning culture, whatever the bullshit word soup that all ownership management like to use to sell the fans on winning. But my pick for the Atlanta Falcons, that's not a bad one. I like that pick. My pick is Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Going
for the future.
I'm going for, because here's the thing. I think the Falcons are good enough to compete with Ryan and Joe and all their offensive weapons. I think defense is more the problem. Now, I don't know if the Falcons want to trade back to get a defensive player, or if they want to just take a defensive player right away. Yeah, I think defense is more the issue with that team. I think the offense is really good. I think the offense is, talented. But
I'm not gonna lie. I had in my other one, I had Kwity Paye going to the Falcons. But how do you pass on Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I think the Falcons do is just because they already believe they have so many weapons, they don't need another one. but then there's no reason for them to also say, oh, we need a quarterback for the future, because I think Ryan's contract still has 2 or 3 more years left anyways. And he's still a quality starter for 2 or 3 more years, but
yeah.
I'm going with the future in Trey Lance. And that dude, I think, is set up for how the NFL is going in the future, what the league looks like. That's
100%. The Lamar Jackson prototype, the Kyler Murray, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going to go with Lance, number 4. You go with Kyle Pitts. I think more likely your pick will be correct than mine, but
it could go either way.
It could go either way. That's like one of my 2 or 3 outlandish kind of hot takes in this draft is Falcons with Lance. Number 5, Cincinnati Bengals. Who day? Not who dat, who day. They also released new jerseys, by the way, the Bengals. Thoughts on their new jerseys?
Let me tell you, the white ones are going to look super green on Joe Burrow. So they need a lineman, but I don't think the Bengals will go lineman for offense. Jamar Chase is sitting right there, LSU product to LSU product. You got to take Jamar Chase.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
AJ Green going away.
T. Higgins is also a really good wide receiver too. I like T. Higgins. I
like him too.
I took him in fantasy last year because I thought as a late round dark horse who I thought could be something, and he actually had some good moments with Burrow before Burrow went down.
Oh yeah.
But that's a good pick too. I like that Jamar Chase pick. I'm going to go with Penei Sewell.
Yep. As
the tackle for the Bengals because I don't know. I just feel like they need to tackle. Everybody was saying this before Burrow got injured that they need better offensive linemen, and this is your chance to get better offensive linemen. I think Sewell is still a developmental product. I don't know if he's going to be starting right away because they got Jonah Williams. And I can't remember who the right tackle is off the top of my head. I'm blanking on that shit. I should have wrote that down. Anyway, it's not the point. The thing with the Bengals, I think they just get their tackle. They get an old lineman. They help out Burrow. They help protect him. And I think they fill a major need for the future. Could go pass catcher, could go offensive weapon, but I got Sewell going 5th overall to the Bengals.
And again, in my other draft, I had Sewell go into the Bengals. I don't know. I see a lot of teams being dumb and not drafting the right person. So I feel like this is a more accurate draft, which is why I saved it for you, because I feel like this is what's going to go down. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. I think last year teams were actually pretty chalk as to who they were taking. It was pretty much it made sense the players they were taking. There was a couple of standout
a couple of weird ones.
Like Jordan Love and Henry Ruggs. We're kind of okay. This year it might be a little bit more radical because we're not quite. I mean, things are different down in the States, but it's you still had football. They still had some interviews. I don't know. I think the Bengals make the smart choice. I think the Bengals are not the same old Bengals, and they, draft a respectable tackle to help their quarterback. But, I mean, Jamar Chase makes a lot of sense, too, because you got the Burrow, Chase, Higgins trio.
Yeah. No, let's just hope that Zach Taylor can actually make the right decision on draft night and go lineman. But, like I said, I just see Jamar. I just see him being drafted. I don't know why, but I just do.
It might be the Burrow effect of just them wanting to please Burrow. There might be that part of it too, where they're just looking to to please Burrow on draft night, give him some respectability. But we'll see. Let's go. We'll go to number 6. We'll go to the Dolphins at 6. Interesting team. They got 2 first-round picks. They could make the playoffs this year. Dark horse to make the playoffs in that division. Who do you have the Miami Dolphins taking at 6?
Well, Larry McTunsell, your trade has come in perfectly here because give me Penei Sewell to the Dolphins here.
All right.
Where the Bengals won't get him, the Dolphins will.
That's a great pick because I think they are also trying to protect their star franchise quarterback who they really like, who they really enjoy. I mean, part of my thing is that I think the Dolphins need more weapons than an offensive lineman. Like, I think they could probably use a top end. They're kind of like San Francisco. They could use a top end running back, but they have a bunch of solid middle tier running backs, and they just need a star wide receiver for somebody like Tua to throw the ball to. But Sewell makes a lot of sense, at the tackle position, filling a role. I got Kyle Pitts going to Miami.
Ooh. Okay.
I
just quitting on Gesicki. I see here you are.
Well, here's the thing. Part of it is that this is one of the picks where it's like best player available for the Dolphins. I think it's the best player available. And as much as I like, Gesicki or Adam Shaheen, even I think even he has potential.
Shaheen has potential.
Shaheen can be something. I still don't think that's enough for you to not take Kyle Pitts if he's available.
That's fair.
I really like Pitts as much as the next guy. I think he's like he does Jimmy Graham things in a wide receiver body. Like if Jimmy Graham could actually run routes, I think it's like the perfect fit. And
Graham could run routes. What are you talking about, man?
I need. Here's the thing. I trust Kyle Pitts to do a sluggo. I don't know that Jimmy Graham can do a sluggo.
I don't think Kyle Pitts can take on a defender as well as Jimmy Graham can.
That's fair.
I look at his Florida tape, dude. What is the ACC doing? They don't hit it all. They don't push the tight end.
The SEC.
The SEC. Sorry, my bad. ACC is Miami.
Listen. Pitts could go anywhere from 4 to 8. I think Pitts and Sewell.
He could literally fill any team's void.
Yes.
He's that good.
Yes. Pitts is so good. I just think if Miami is on the clock and they're looking for the best player available, they go Kyle Pitts. They could go Chase. He's still available in my mock draft technically, but I would think they go Kyle Pitts because he's just too good of a talent to pass up on. So that's why I got the Dolphins going 6 with Kyle Pitts. I love the Jimmy Graham conversation, by the way, considering that Seattle didn't even know how to use him properly for like.
Until the last year.
Yeah, until the contract year, where then like Seattle started figuring out, hey, why don't you just isolate him on a cornerback?
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Oh, who knew that he could actually do that? Oh, wait, maybe the Saints who only used him for that. Oh no, it's awesome that he's been on both of our teams and has succeeded at one and completely failed at the rest. So
you know what?
His last year in Seattle wasn't that bad.
No, his last year was good. It's just it took them like a year and a half, 2 years, and plus he had he had the major injury. It took them 2 years to actually figure. Plus Seattle's O-line was absolutely garbage. Like awful. And then when they try and use Graham as a run blocker too.
Yeah, let's just put the worst run blocker tight end up against who? Jadeveon Clowney at that time?
Aaron Donald. Let's have him go up against Aaron Donald and see how that goes. It's like I can tell you how that goes. That's
He's gotten better, but he hasn't gotten that much better. Okay, he's not Gronkowski.
No, and going to Chicago also has not helped. He had.
Oh my God, when he said like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to a Super Bowl caliber team," I was like, "You're coming back to the Saints?" Oh, and then no. Chicago of all teams.
I also don't know why he didn't just stay in Green Bay. Like that just made it perfect.
Green Bay didn't want him. They released him.
I know, but like.
And look what Tunyon's did. Look at how good that he's just produced Tunyon.
Yeah, Robert Tunyon's fucking awesome. Number 7, Detroit Lions. Who do you got going?
First defensive player off my board.
Ooh.
Give me Kwity Paye.
Ooh.
Lions need a lot of help, but Michigan to Michigan, it just kind of makes sense in my eyes.
Michigan, interesting. That's a good pick. I have him going later on because I don't know. I think this isn't really that great of a class for edge play. It's not a bad in the second and third round. It's pretty good for edge rushers, and the inside players it's even worse for defensive interior players. Just trying to find those type of guys. So. I could see a team going all in on him early, but
That's why I like the Lions.
Yeah, that makes sense. I got Jamar Chase going to Detroit.
I like that pick too.
I mean, he would be their best wide receiver since Calvin Johnson.
Day one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, no offense to Golden Tate, also who I liked, or Kenny.
Or Brashad Perriman.
Or Kenny Golladay. But, I mean, I think Jamar Chase is great. He can help out Goff, because if you don't give any help to Jared Goff in Detroit, then what the fuck are you actually doing? You're really just wasting this man's career. Not that it's
already been wasted.
Is Goff like the Mendoza line of like competent starter quarterbacks? You can
average,
guys you can potentially win a Super Bowl with. Like Goff maybe, but anything less than Goff, you're not winning a Super Bowl.
You're not winning. Yeah, I mean, he did get to the Super Bowl, so I mean, off of a fucking
fluke.
But that's kind of how I see it. Yeah.
That's I won't go too far into that, but
thank you. I've already relived it enough.
Well, that's like any time like anybody shows like Super Bowl 49 highlights, and it's just like what happens at the end, right? It's like I really do, and I don't want to talk about this. Can we please talk about anything else?
Let's talk about Super Bowl 48. Okay, that was such a good one.
That was like. That game was boring by the time, after Harvin, Super Bowl 48, by the time Harvin scored that touchdown, it's like, okay, well, I don't need to
this is just a shit kicking.
So you got Pay going to Detroit.
Yep.
And I got Jamar Chase.
Yep.
Lions worst team in the league potentially this year?
No, they won't be. They won't be the worst team. They have a lot of young people, and I feel like that benefits Goff in a way because he has somewhat of a veteran presence because he's been to the Super Bowl. He knows what it takes. And depending on who they get, it's going to be good for them. You know what I mean? I feel like the worst team that will be the worst team, give me the fucking Broncos, man.
Ooh.
They're not making any moves this year that will impress me.
Okay, so we'll get into Denver later on, but I feel like any team 4 through 8, 4 through 9, and then I don't know, the Broncos and Cowboys are kind of in a weird spot, and then once you get to the Giants and Eagles, they're in a good spot too with guys that can fill needs. Number 8, the Carolina Panthers. It's a team I actually don't mind, just as in terms of a rebuilding. They're sort of figuring it out as a franchise. They're kind of getting their shit together. Who do you have going to the Carolina Panthers at number 8?
Well, this is where I come in for my first trade.
Okay, who do you got?
Yeah, the Patriots are doing something other than what they would be known to do. Other than trading down, they trade up. Now, they like either Trey Lance or they like their main guy, the one that Bill Belichick has been apparently falling in love with, and that is Justin Fields. It's what I've been seeing a lot of, and it's just okay, well, Justin Fields isn't going to make it past what I feel like the Broncos, because I feel like the Broncos are going to draft Fields. So,
yeah, I mean, there's I was going to say if he gets past Denver somehow, then the Cowboys have to trade down to let somebody take a quarterback, because there's no reason Fields or Lance should be outside of the top 10. So I don't mind.
Theoretically, no.
I don't mind that. New England's a weird team because they re-signed Newton, which I mean.
But only for 1 year.
It's only
that's
for
why
one,
I like the Fields look.
It's not, yeah, and that's why Lance makes sense too, because it's only for 1 year with Newton. You can just play like shit for another year. I never bought into the Jarrett Stidham hype. I never thought he was going to be that good. Funny, I remember watching not in Burrow's championship year, but like the year before when Stidham and Burrow were playing Auburn LSU, and it was just like watching that game. It was in Auburn, and Stidham's just like, to me, okay, this guy's not an NFL quarterback. He's a fine college prospect. You know, he does enough things well at the college level, but this Burrow kid could be something. And it's just like, yeah, that's about right with Jared Stidham. Like, he's not an NFL player. He's not a quarterback for 16 games. I don't know if you really want Newton trying to start your whole season either, but maybe Justin Fields can get some action too for New England.
Maybe.
Or Lance. Who knows?
But
that's actually I like that pick. Because with Carolina at number 8, I had them taking Justin Fields.
Even with the Sam Darnold trade?
Even with the Darnold trade, even with Bridgewater under contract for another year, I just think Fields is too good for Carolina to pass up. You can never have too many options at quarterback because I feel like you can get rid of either Darnold. I don't know that you can find a suitor for Bridgewater considering his contract. But I feel like you can make something happen where you can get assets back for one, if not both of those guys, and you draft Fields, and Fields is the franchise quarterback who was, I think, the second best quarterback, second best player coming into this draft, maybe. And now he's fallen.
Something like that. Yeah, he's fallen down. Yeah.
So, I mean, Carolina, they actually have some decent offensive weapons. I've got it written down here. Christian McCaffrey, hopefully he's back 100%. I don't mind Robbie Anderson. I think he's a quality
especially with Sam Darnold coming.
Yeah,
that's why I like Robbie Anderson.
Yes, I think that makes sense. They're not in New York. They don't have to deal with the fucking Jets bullshit anymore.
Adam Gase.
DJ Moore, slot guy. I like him. I think he's, a quality wide receiver.
He's good everywhere.
Yeah, he can be good anywhere. And then they also got David Moore, who is Seattle's third, fourth wide receiver this past year. They signed him. I like him. He's made some clutch catches for Seattle in the past.
100%.
Dan Arnold, Ian Thomas, tight end. She can figure out tight ends, but I mean, that's really
Dan Arnold is probably going to be the number one just because he made, if we're talking about past teams, he made some pretty clutch catches on the Saints.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I think there's some decent pass catchers, some offensive weapons for, somebody like Fields to join. I mean, it makes sense for Carolina to trade down as well because I think Detroit, Carolina are in a really good, even Denver's in a really good spot where they don't necessarily have to pick where they are. Even the Cowboys, I guess, too. I just think if Carolina's there and Justin Fields is there, you got to take him. I can't see how you pass on Fields if he's still around at 8 and you still have quarterback questions.
That's totally fair.
Let's go to Denver, Mile High City, the Broncos, number 9.
Oh boy. I'll let you take this one first.
Okay, so Denver was a tough team for myself. I went a couple different ways with Denver before I finally settled on what I wanted to do with the Broncos, and I went with Micah Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State. Okay. He's 6'2", 240. Probably a little small to be playing inside where they need to fill a position. But if you can switch him outside every once in a while, maybe replace, Chubb or Von Miller as an outside blitzer every once in a while on a pass rush. I can see it working. I think it helps with the linebacker, situation. I mean, they could take Slater as another guy I thought they could take at 9, fill a tackle spot, help the O-line, help Drew Lock maybe, but I watched some film on Parsons. That dude is fun to watch. Just pass rushing, going after the quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
He's got some really good ball awareness and play recognition that, I almost
compare him to Isaiah Simmons just from last year.
Yeah, that's a really good comp.
He is.
Yeah. That's a really good comp. I like that. Whether Vic Fangio and the Broncos know how to use him properly and would take somebody like him, that's kind of my thinking process with Parsons. He kind of fills a role, the defensive head coach. Dude's fun to watch, talented. He's not he's not a tall 6'5" plus white quarterback for Elway to take this early, but I'm gonna say Parsons at 9 to Denver.
All right, fair enough. I like your defensive look, and I think pairing up Simmons with another back half guy is what they need. I like the linebacker look at Parsons, but when you have a ball hawk like Trayvon Moehrig, as the best safety, to pair him up with Justin Simmons, that could be like, when Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara went to the Pro Bowl as like the best RB duo.
Yes.
That has potential to be the best safety duo since Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas.
I can't argue with that because I really wanted to rate like Morrig higher than what I have him. I just didn't know which. Like, I think Dallas would be an amazing fit. He's a TCU kid.
Yep.
It makes perfect sense for him to go to Dallas. I just couldn't make it work. I couldn't see it. But I love that pick now that you mention it. I think that's probably better than my part.
It's literally no. That's the thing. Who knows what they're gonna do? This is like the best part. It's like your linebacker decision for Parsons that could totally help them for depth, and then mine for Moehrig. It's like that could be a really, really scary backfield.
Especially when you're in a division when you have to go up against Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr with a question mark as to what's going on in Las Vegas.
Hey, he beat Kansas City, once, so it's fine.
Yes, it's fine. He's cool. But that's where it makes sense with Moehrig, where it's just like the dude is a ball hawk that makes perfect sense for the type of division that you see with Mahomes, Herbert, Carr, all that sort of stuff. It makes perfect sense. Do you want to go to the Cowboys at 10?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
This one was kind of a toss-up for me. Dallas needs a lot of defense, but their offensive line is getting old and expensive as shit. So that's why it kind of made sense for me to put Slater at that O-line position for Dallas. Get some youngness into there and just keep Dak protected, man.
I had Slater 10 as well. I just think
nice.
I think the fit makes sense. You don't have to start him right away this year, but I feel like injuries have come about. That team is never 100% healthy, it seems like.
Never is.
Especially at the O-line spot. And Slater just blocks dudes. Like he just he just mauls guys, he just blocks guys. I don't know that's the thing about O-linemen, right? Like you never hear about them until they do dumb shit or until they fuck up. This dude hardly fucked up at Northwestern.
No, what was it, like 3 sacks he allowed, like his whole college career or something like that?
Yeah, something ridiculous like that. I don't know if you've seen the film against Chase Young, he's
like the only one that can defend Chase Young.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know that you should completely draft a guy based on like his experience against Chase Young, but I think it helps.
It definitely helps.
So that's why I'm going with Slater 10 to the Cowboys as well. So
I like it.
We don't need to talk about that too much because we agreed on that.
No, it's the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys too. Yeah. So we can just move on there.